Hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome. I'm really excited today to do this session on how we're executing with you, our partners at scale in SME&C. So I am Alexandra Zagury, and I joined Microsoft actually 50 days ago to lead this global channel sales team. And I'm going to be joined here by our channel leaders in the regions. So Bart van de Knaap, he leads our EMEA channel. Gustavo Fuchs, he leads our Asia channel, and Harpreet Girn leads our Americas channel. So what I really want to talk about is we're really at an inflection point in the industry. It's a unique time. Everything changes every single day. And so as I was thinking about, I'm here speaking to you 50 days in, everybody's asking me, what's your strategy, Alex? And really how I'm thinking about this is that we are in an arena together because we cannot be spectators. We are all in this together. We're going to have to figure out how we're going to deal with all this change, all this innovation, and grow together. And so I've been starting to think about how do we reimagine the channel for this AI era? What is the partner that we want to partner in this AI era? And I'm thinking about 5 imperatives, themes, whatever it may be. And the first one starts with being our customer zero. It is a privilege to be part of Microsoft and to get to use this technology every day. In the first 50 days, I myself have changed the way that I work. I'm all in on AI, I'm all in on Copilot. And so I think the first thing is that the partners that really start using the technology become AI first with Microsoft are the partners that will understand how to sell that technology and what are the use cases that our partners and our customers really need to drive this new era. And with that comes the value alignment, because of course, I've been working in the channel for over 20 years, in the industry for over 30 years. And the thing that every partner asks me is profitability and predictability. But to have profitability and predictability, there needs to be value alignment. And that value alignment comes from understanding how we monetize those use cases together, how we grow together. So the concept of value alignment is really going to be about how we move in that direction. And I think Microsoft has already been making some bold moves there. You've seen how our incentives are mapped to the different sales stages and also pre and post-sales. The second one, which is my passion, is what we call technical intensity. And I was looking at a research that LinkedIn had and said 90% of B2B buyers actually have taken their decision by the time they're in front of our sellers or your sellers. So what does that actually mean for us? It means that if they've taken that buying decision when they're talking to us, they want to talk to an expert. They want to talk to somebody that understands the technology and can help them build that business case inside their organization of why they should be buying this. And so we are all going to have that technical intensity. And you've seen that we here at Microsoft, we invest a lot in skilling. And that is something that myself and the team are really going to be very focused on going forward. The third one is, and I'm not yet sure about these words, but I'm calling it agentic GTM. And what do I mean by that? Another thing that I'm really focused on is that the buying process, in the last couple of years, I've been very focused on this. The buying process has changed. And of course, 15 years ago, we were talking about the digital vortex and the digitization of our sales processes. But now the game has even changed 10x. So if you as a partner have not gone on that digital transformation with us and are really understanding our APIs, understanding how to connect to our marketplace, how to monetize your offerings in our marketplace, you're going to be left behind. And so this concept now is actually how do you embed agents in that go-to-market? And I just had a couple of interesting meetings already on this today, and I'm really excited to really figure this one out with you. And the last is what I call precision velocity. And this is all about what is the goodness of all this AI and all this data. It gives us the ability to make more informed decisions, to be more precise about who we're targeting, how we're going to market together, which in turn should give us velocity, which in turn should give us scale. So 50 days in, this is how I'm thinking about how we really look and reimagine the channel in this AI era. And my areas of focus for A2, taking that in mind, are really going to be about how we really transform ourselves and empower our teams into a more sales-driven, performance-based culture. Not that they're not already, but with all this data we're getting to that precision about action and impact together with you is going to be very, very important. The second, I'm listening still. 50 days in, I've got some ideas, but I really want to listen. I really want to align. I want to make sure that as we go into FY27 planning, and by the way, Microsoft has already started it, we're really aligned about what we want to achieve together. And then last but not least, this concept of driving technical intensity. And so I really want to understand from a skilling perspective, an enablement perspective, where are the gaps that you're seeing, be it in our content or be it how we go to market together. Before I pivot to the next part, I just really want to say thank you. Thank you to some of you that I've already met and have already given me that feedback. Thank you to the partners that won all those awards. We're really proud and hope that we do this all again with you next year. So today, the team here is going to take you through the opportunity and what we're laser focused in terms of H2 growth. And when you look at our small and medium enterprise in terms of total addressable market, there's 400 million small and medium enterprises. We are covering 99% of the businesses worldwide, 50% of global deployment, and 40 to 55% of national income. It's a huge market. It's an untapped market. I mean, I have already conversations about long tail every single day. There is still so much untapped opportunity, and we really want to help you win in this space together. And so today we're going to be focused on what we're calling our H2 execution framework. What are the 6 things that we are focused on to accelerate growth and to activate with you? And first, it comes in the focus area of our 3 solution areas. Of course, Copilot Chat. And how exciting were those announcements yesterday? There is so much goodness, and I hope that you're already seeing the path of why it's important to get each and every of your partners or customers using Copilot Chat. Go after that Agent 365 opportunity. I've never seen anything so wonderful. In fact, Judson told a couple of our CEOs that the first thing we did at Microsoft was deploy it inside so that we could actually see what people are using. So there's a tremendous opportunity because it starts with the chat, but then there's all this opportunity in terms of building agents, and also hopefully you saw App Builder, building apps, and all in this great foundational layer that we have. Second, another passion of mine, security. I came from a place where we were doing this knife fight every single day with the point product vendors. But I hadn't even realized the strength of the Microsoft portfolio. We're at a point in time in product truth, which is absolutely tremendous. We sit in 5 of the top Magic Quadrants. We won Cloud Security Vendor of the Year, according to IDC, beating everybody out. And we've got now the offers. Not only do we have the product, we have the offers. And we have the offers in SMB. I mean, the opportunity is so exciting. It gives me goosebumps. So the team will talk to you a little bit about how we're activating together. And then Azure. Of course, it's still about migration and modernization, and there's a lot still to be done there. And when we look at how we activate together with you, the first thing I asked is let's really get to that precision velocity when it comes to renewals and upsell. There's so much to do there, and we're really, really focused on how we get that engine running in a good way with all of you. The second one is program activation, and this is great. I think in terms of even our Azure programs, we've increased it by 70% year on year, Azure Accelerate. So a tremendous opportunity there. And then last but not least, and one of the reasons why I came here is so exciting, our new pods and our new operating model. So as the team takes you through these different growth opportunities, they'll explain how the pod is working together and all the resources and investment that we've put into the pod to make the operating model really work and work for you. So now we go to the recipe for success, and it is my pleasure to introduce Bart van Knaap that is going to take you through the next one.
Thank you. Good afternoon. It's amazing to see such a packed room. And I guess for next year, we need to allocate a larger room. That's at least one of the first learnings I have. I'm going to go a little off script here for a second before I'll unpack Copilot and Copilot Chat as that #1 pillar in the execution framework, because we have something to celebrate. And that's not only the partner of the years, but we actually have my counterpart in the Americas, Harp. He's celebrating his birthday today. So just give him a warm round of applause. On behalf of Microsoft and the entire partner team, Harp, congrats with your 25th birthday. Yeah, how am I going to bridge this now into Copilot and Copilot Chat? But anyway, have a great rest of the day. Look, I was asked to unpack a little bit this first pillar on Copilot and Copilot Chat. Before I'll do that, I want to take one step back, because it's not about Copilot or Copilot Chat as a product. At Microsoft, we aspire to be the AI platform partner of choice. And we want to meet our customers wherever they are on their AI journey. And whether that is with Copilot or Copilot Chat as our SaaS offering, or with Copilot Studio, those customers that want to build their own agents, down to the customers that are more further along in their journey, that want to build AI native applications or infuse AI in the existing applications that they have using Azure AI Foundry. And that is basically the platform opportunity that we have with all of you being there out there in the market today to land the AI platform opportunity in every single customer. But as always, that journey needs to start. And that is where we have invested a lot in our go-to-market around Copilot. Not only in our go-to-market investments, but also in product truth. The Copilot that you may have learned about 1.5 years ago and the Copilot that you will learn about today is a completely different product. And I think it's fair to say that we're now at par, and in many of the areas, we see the integration that Copilot can offer with your productivity data being a competitive advantage over some of the other providers out there. So that's, for us, a really important one. We have launched, next to M365 Copilot, the chat version, the free version, because we've heard feedback that for some of our customers, starting with a price point of $30 per seat per month was maybe a little too high. And that was an entry barrier. So we've taken that away, and we have launched Copilot Chat a couple of months ago. I think it was about 6-7 months ago when we brought this to market. And that was basically the attempt to bring that entry barrier down and open AI for all of our customers with a low entry barrier. And the research depends a little bit which lens you take, but the latest research suggests that between 60 to 80% of knowledge workers across the globe are using a form of AI on a daily basis. So that is the socket that we want to go after, because it is fair to say that most of those tools today are consumerized tools. That is, tools that they are using as a consumer, and they bring that to work because they want to be more effective when it comes to bringing AI into their professional jobs too. But that comes with risk, because there is very little control over who uses those tools for what purposes. So that has proven to be a very effective narrative with CIOs and CISOs to have that open conversation on, hey, do we have the same understanding that AI is widely used in my org today already? And then the second question is, do you have a view of what's being used by whom and for what purpose? And that is really a very open conversation that has proven to be, again, a very effective door opener to land Copilot and Copilot Chat. So that's basically where we want to lead, to bring that shadow usage under the control of the corporate tenant in a secure way, and from there build out your journey as you progress in the lifecycle of Copilot towards the full M365 Copilot. So that's one angle of the conversation. The other angle, which is important to recognize, is that Copilot Chat is the UI to access the agentic world. And you've heard yesterday on main stage from Judson and all of our product leaders that we are investing and doubling down on the agentic world with products like Agent 365, Agent Factory, But all of that goodness can only be accessed once you win the socket of AI productivity with Copilot Chat. So it's a really important opportunity for us. And then last, before I'll move on, is that it's also proven to be a great door opener for some of our Microsoft Cloud foundational SKUs. Because there is no discussion around AI without security. It has proven to be a strong door opener to upsell E3 to E5, or Business Standard or Business Premium, or even go after the data migration and data modernization discussion. Because AI, as we know, is as good as the data over which it reasons. So it is proven to be a very effective door opener that should also lead to an earning opportunity on some of our foundational SKUs. So I'm not going to drain this slide, as I respect that many of the partners in the room here are on different stages of their journey towards Copilot and Copilot Chat. But we wanted to land a 5-step plan if you're not yet on the Copilot Chat go-to-market, on how you can build that go-to-market leveraging the resources that we have. And there's various assets that all accrue to the portal that we have launched for go-to-market for partners on Copilot, aka.ms/CSP Copilot. So should you be interested in building that go-to-market, and I bet after the announcement yesterday, the answer is yes, we're all interested to go after this. This is where you can find all of the go-to-market materials that Microsoft has prepared for you. Now, I want to maybe close my contribution this afternoon with an example, because that's a question that I get asked many times by partners to say, help me on this Copilot Chat activation, because how can I land the free SKU? And this is a great partner that I happened to meet in the Netherlands a couple of weeks ago. It's the partner Let's Copilot, where they have actually taken the opportunity to land Copilot Chat at scale. And they developed a framework in the web browser to enable Copilot Chat activation at scale. This is a P2P service, by the way. So it's a partner offering this to other partners. And they are using the web browser to open the journey. And the moment you join the web browser, you can deploy Copilot Chat quickly, safely, and you will be taken through a journey of predefined steps. And there's also a bit of gamification in there, because it also needs to be fun. And that has proven to be a real effective way of making the big AI and the big Copilot that can be a little bit complex very small, as you can start it as of tomorrow. So I just want to roll a quick video where we explain the opportunity that we see with this product. Great. Do we like it? What I like about it is innovative, yet practical, and it's scalable. So should you be inspired and you want to learn more about this offering, it's a P2P offer, like I said. It can be leveraged from Co-op. The boss and boss are in the room here somewhere, so maybe you want to raise your hand. Should you be interested, you can go to them after the session to learn a little bit more. And before I hand it off to Gustavo to talk about security, I just want to maybe close by saying that AI has evolved to be a boardroom topic in 99% of our customers. And we need to be part of it. And Copilot and Copilot Chat has proven to be a very effective door opener to get these customers on the journey. And AI is not something of the future, it happens now. So that's why this will be one of our core priorities going into H2, and I'm looking forward to bringing this to market with all of you together. So with that, there is no AI without security. That's what I said. So the next one up is Gustavo going to talk about security.
Thank you, sir. Hi, everybody. I don't have a video. I don't have Harp's birthday to celebrate. But I do have security. And I want to reemphasize that all the excitement we have with AI, all the AI transformation that's ahead of us requires transformational security. Our lives, and maybe I can get a show of hands since we are between you and lunch. Any show of hands who has a practice on security here? Any partners that have a practice on security? Okay, that's good. We need to get more hands after the session. That would be very helpful. So we're looking forward. But again, with everything that's AI throwing at us, the need for us to have transformational security, the need for us to be serving our customers with security end-to-end is becoming bigger and bigger. We have a lot of data that shows that the speed of attackers are getting faster, the scale of attackers are getting faster, and the sophistication of those attacks are getting much, much faster. We have a very unique point of view in Microsoft, sometimes debatable, of having a suite approach on how we do end-to-end security. And we're actually evolving that to have this in supporting our AI mechanism. Not only for Copilot, Copilot Chat, but the security that provides end-to-end for platforms. Why do we think we have a unique proposition? It's because we have been able to get so many insights, so many signals from our security, from our consumer platform, from Xbox, PCs, to everything we have on the cloud. Be it having the trillion signals daily, to have all the AI investment we do. We are in a unique position. And here's the good news. Everything that happens in security, and Alex has a unique perspective on that, 91% of everything that happens in security is done through the channel. Do you have the same feeling? Do you think customers are going direct or the customers are going to you? Can we get a show of hands? Okay, maybe we need to do more on this area. SMBs are in a unique position. They don't need to have multiple vendors. They want to have a single vendor, a single solution, and a single set of partners that enable them to drive security. And many of the parameters here have some data from Asia, but it also goes across the board, goes a long way of saying that the opportunity for services, the opportunity for SOC, the opportunity for implementation, the opportunity for intrusion detection is really, really key. So I think we have a unique opportunity on security, not only to cope with all the AI innovations we have, but the ongoing needs with our customers. And equally important to that, we have a lot of experience on partnering with you on that. And I want to bring an example. I want to bring an example from our partner, 𝗦𝗽𝗀𝗀𝗃, a global partner. I think is 𝗦𝗽𝗃 in the room. Maybe get a show of hand. I think Ilya is there and back. We have a few colleagues here as well. We have a 5-step process of partnering with global partners and local partners in terms of engaging with the customers. We do some early and deep customer engagement. We fully integrate Microsoft platform on your security offering. I remember us doing multi-customers ABCs, driving a lot of immersion workshops. Can I get a show of hands here if any of you has leveraged immersion workshops with Microsoft? Okay, that's good. That's what we call program usage. If you haven't done and you want to remember something of the session, please make sure that you're leveraging our programs. We are articulating an end-to-end proposition with CSP across our 4 moments of truth. If you don't know what are 4 moments of truth, we have our investments in pre-sales, we have our transactions, we have post-sales and support. Those are the areas we go not only for security. And then finally, we continue to work with you in investment in skilling and ongoing upskilling of yourselves and customers. So we have a unique opportunity in security, and I want to encourage all of you to connect with myself, Alex, Bart, and Harp, as well with our teams, to build your practices, to identify the set of customers we're going to gather to market, and to win those propositions together. Over the last 8 weeks, we actually launched our security SMB SKU. We have some very good initial feedback from partners that are working with us in this area, and we will continue to invest in SMB offerings. So if you have any feedback, if you have any insights on how this is landing with your customers, please share with us. So just to close on that, we talked about the overall opportunity in SME&C. We talk about Copilot and AI, which is a unique opportunity for us, a unique opportunity for you to build your capabilities on agents. We talk of security, which is the baseline for that. And I'm happy to hand over to my colleague Harp, who's going to talk about Azure opportunity in SME&C, which is the base of everything we have to offer to our customers. Harp.
Thank you, Gustavo. What an amazing time. Thank you. Maybe just a little secret. How many of you have been in the channel with Microsoft for longer than 10 years? Please raise your hand. 15 years. 20. 25. All right, I want to give some hugs when I see you all afterwards. I have the wonderful privilege of not just turning 25 today, but also have just passed my 25-year anniversary at Microsoft. And the reason why that's relevant, like many of the folks in this room, I've had a chance to witness some incredible transformational moments in our industry. Like many of you, frankly, have been drivers, inspiring change, bringing it to the masses, democratizing the power of mobility, cloud, and scale to the thousands and millions of customers that Alex touched upon earlier today. So just a sincere thank you for the work you do every day in alignment with Microsoft in service of our collective customers. In that journey, in the year 2010, I got to be participating in a project called Project Red Dog. A coffee for anyone in the room that knows what Project Red Dog was. Azure. Amazing. If you had a chance to view the keynote yesterday, and our incredible leader, Scott Guthrie, raised some perspectives around the scale, the breadth, the depth, the aspirations of not just being the world's public cloud, but being the AI supercomputer of the future to inspire becoming frontier transformation at scale is really the foundation of what we built for the last 15 years. That starts at the infrastructure layer, how we think left to right on the data estate, not just first-party, but third-party integrations with Fabric IQ as the intelligence layer that you saw yesterday, inspiring the AI platform of the future to, in essence, mobilize the apps and agents empowered by AI that we all will go create for the coming decade. That scale is like no other. You've heard the metrics around the sheer build-out and capacity, not just the metrics you see here around the volume and the leading position of Azure in the marketplace around the number of data centers, the number of regions, the natural alignment with GitHub, first-party, open source code support and development, the number of applications. It is super clear that we are trying to go build the platform of the future to power this next AI wave. That is what we sit upon today and the opportunity we all have. And each of you have done an incredible job in this journey to give us feedback about how we continuously iterate this opportunity together. One great example of this is Azure Accelerate. Alex and the team talked about a recipe for success. The single biggest investment Microsoft is making today is in that data center build-out I just talked about. The second biggest investment we make is in you, our partners and our partnership at Microsoft. And one of the ways in which we've learned and evolved in this was how we went to market in inspiring joint customer co-selling, post-sale success through a unified way under Azure Accelerate. Alex touched upon our significant step change in investment. That was a result of all of your feedback. A significant simplification of the program, bringing together 4 discrete things to go unify a more simplified experience. And that is now mobilized in how we go to market with you. If you have an Azure practice and you've yet to go and activate an Azure Accelerate program with us alongside our sales team, I sincerely ask you to investigate and understand why not. How are we going and unifying and leveraging these investments to inspire the art of the possible at scale? Now, the team talked about the recipe for success. And you've heard my colleagues talk about great examples about where in which this manifests itself. But before that happens, all of you have invested time, energy, effort in building world-class practices, managed service practices, professional services practices, aligned to the innovation we bring to market every day. And that is what we call step 1 of our journey together. It is the innovation and the IP, the services you wrap around the Microsoft Cloud in service of our customer opportunities and their business problems. I love the way Asha said, we're not in a world where models understand margins or tools understand customers. That is where AI and the flow of human ambition is really coming to life, and it's your practices on top of the Microsoft platform that is the only way we win at scale in SME&C. Now, how we execute? We're looking to be globally consistent, simple, and more simple than we were yesterday. And that has 3 key components to it. The first is that go-to-market model. Second is that always-on life cycle. We've genuinely evolved, and Alex duly noted this in our first couple of days, we've genuinely moved from a transaction moment, a transaction channel, to a value channel. I love the value alignment framing that she inspired us all to think about. In many ways, we've been going through this journey together for the last 15 years. And we sit at a moment where that customer lifecycle doesn't stop at commitment. It literally goes to owning the tenant, driving customer value, being there for support, all 4 phrases that Gustavo touched upon in that cycle. And then lastly, it's really about how we accelerate that at scale through programs. One thing we haven't double-clicked on is the power of the pod. What Alex touched upon is the resources that inspired her to be so excited about this opportunity. And one of the things we've all done consistently is align technical resources, partner architects, by solution area, marketing and go-to-market resources, by partner, partner development leads that go work with you every day to unlock the power of 1 + 1 equaling more than 2, partner solution specialists, by CSA to sell with our segments at scale, and then post-sales customer success capability and development, all wrapped around you at the center, our partner. So first time in my 10 years in the channel that I've seen us put you as our partner in the center of our selling success. You are an extension of our team, and that is the way in which we think about our go-to-market alignment. And our segment partners, as you've seen throughout the course of this conference, are deeply committed, led by our leader, Ralph, on that aspiration with channel at the center. We changed the name of the segment from SMC to SME&C. And the aspiration is channels at the center of everything we do in that strategy. And Azure and the success of it comes to life. When I think about an example of this, one that comes to mind is CDW US. This team has done some incredible work, and it starts with the investment and the capability and the practices across infrastructure, data, application innovation. But at the core of it, it really is the double click. It is how they've thought about skilling and building the generalist sales floor to understand the triggers, the value creation, the opportunities to go and unlock it. Building a customer success function, very, very new capability in the cloud world as we thought about unlocking post-sales, next logical workload for next logical business scenario to solve. And lastly, an incredible user of programs at scale. They've embedded into every stage of the MSEM sales cycle. For those of you that may not know, Microsoft launched a consistent customer sales methodology called MSEM, the Microsoft Customer Engagement Methodology, stages 1 to 5. And the first 2 stages of listen and consult and inspire and design are what this team does in a world-class manner. They literally look to go and understand the business problem the team is trying to solve and the right technical solution and managed service and professional service to solve that need. They're growing 250,000 customers, over 46% this last year. Just a great example about how it all comes to life at scale. And so, team, you've had a chance to meet all of us as a team And before I call upon Alex and the regional leaders, I want to sort of close with just the inspiration to take action. Let's get ready together. The pace of innovation is incredible. I can tell you, we spent a week last week in Seattle just learning about the announcements. It only came to life on Monday, the breadth, depth, and scale. And so when you all go home, I inspire you to sort of take a minute, read through the breadth and depth of what these great technologies will advance your business and how will we grow together. Create the demand together, and let's grow our collective businesses and have a ton of fun while we're doing it. And so maybe with that, I'll call upon Alex, Bart, and Gustavo to do a little bit of Q&A, because it's very rare that we get this audience in a room, and just thought we'd open it up for questions for this room.
Yeah. The open mic is in the middle.
Yes, whoever has a question.
Or sing a song for Harp's birthday.
No, thanks.
Any questions? There must be.
It has to be.
There always needs to be a first one. There we go.
Thank you.
Hi, Tamara Norker, Accenture.
Hey, Sam.
And happy birthday. Wish Vince had known that earlier today. Question is, as you look at your recipe for success, how do you see that tying in with the Frontier Success Framework?
I think the Frontier Success Framework for me is maybe the overarching framework. It's actually the halo conversation. And it's proven to be a very effective narrative to bring customers along the journey. And the reason why we have launched Frontier is to have that discussion with customers on, hey, AI is no longer a nice to have with pilot projects. It's actually a frame that you could use to innovate your business, bring AI to the very core of your business processes. So the way how I would look at it is this execution framework that you would have seen, the three, and then on top of the three, is the way we want to manifest, and we bring it to practical daily execution. But the halo conversation is about Frontier and making our customers Frontier, and that's also why we have launched this partner specialization around this because that's the way how we want to lead out and inspire our customers to think left to right differently on their business.
Yeah, just build on it. I think there's three things that are all kind of happening in parallel, and they're so interconnected. Completely agree. There's a halo element around the Frontier conversation, the enriching employee experiences, bending the curve on innovation, really sort of is that customer inspiration of the here and now in their terms. We bring that to market through the Microsoft Cloud, and that cloud is represented through the three solution areas of AI business solutions, security, and the cloud and AI platform that we just talked about. When we double click on how we go to market, that's where the 3x3 framework takes those with high orientation around the most immediate opportunity that we see we want to orient around. And then the recipe for success is just that framework of common activities we see people do that yield incredible success and momentum. And sometimes not always the sexiest, but like very disciplined key approaches to how we unify our go-to-market.
And maybe as we transition maybe to a second question, what also triggered me is AI as the ultimate conversation with business. Like at Microsoft, we used to sell products. We would talk about licenses and SKUs. But in the world of AI, it's all about value and selling beyond IT. And if you look at some of these latest researches, they suggest that 80 to 85% of future spend on AI will not come off a traditional IT budget. So that's also how we transpose the Frontier ambition and for internally to push our own sellers to think more in terms of business outcome instead of product. So it's also proven to be a very effective, maybe change narrative on where we need to go as Microsoft in order to be seen as a real business partner instead of product sellers.
Hi. Just before I begin, I know that 25 years, you remember the name SME&C, right?
Yes, sir.
So we're back to that, just with different wording. So we see a lot of incentives going on into getting new customers and upselling to these customers. But one thing that I feel like is being forgotten, that we're no longer selling licenses and renewing assurances. We are actually servicing customers. And we should pay a lot of attention to actually holding to the workloads, especially when it comes down to, for example, Azure. We can see M365 is more sticky, migration is harder. So when we sell something, it's more or less going to be there unless something exceptional happens. When it comes down to Azure, we have to compete daily to actually keep the workloads. And neither incentive-wise nor reporting-wise, this is not being much appreciated within Microsoft, what sellers or partners do. Because most of the time they look at the top line and that your revenue is the same. But your revenue is the same because you put the effort to keep it that way, and then you invest to grow. And in every program there's like, okay, there's this organic growth, you have to grow, say, 20, 30%, and whatever you do above that is extra. So this investment into keeping the customers and keeping the growth, I feel like is missing. What's your take on that?
Look, my sense would be, and thanks for sharing that, that feedback. And if that is the reality, then that's something that we need to address or maybe demystify. I would lead with our statement that this has been our biggest investment year ever in channel, like to Harp's point. Our CSP investment envelope has increased 20% year over year. And of the investment envelope, 70% of the dollars will go to SME&C. So it's been the biggest investment envelope ever. Now, within that number, we have actually shifted some dollars to new business accelerators. So you're right. So you have seen in many of our solution areas a 7.5% CSP incentive accelerator, as we also see that the opportunity on incentives is to really go after the net new workloads. Now, the base rates we have kept mostly constant, and in order to pay for this, we took 1 point off Azure. So I hear you. It's an open conversation to have on, hey, where do we put the fixed amount of dollars that we have to balance retaining customers versus going after the highly competitive landscape, and we want to also focus us here in the room to go after new. And that needs to be paid. So we only took a slice off of the Azure base rate, but it's, I think, not as, how would I say, hard to say, hey, like Microsoft does not care retaining customers. That's not how I read it, but let's have that open dialogue, because if that is something that you believe that...
And maybe one...
It's 1 or 0.5% on the base, but it's 7% of the reservations, 7% of the savings, and this is after like 5% margin was removed from those again. And this is, for example, reservation and savings, this is something that we have to do to keep the customers, and it's hitting hard onto the margins.
No, that's a very valid feedback. I think if we were to share the intention, right? So before we used to have growth of only new customers, and we evolved this year to have any type of growth, meaning growth from new customers and also existing customers with new workloads. So I feel we are moving in a direction that's aligned to what you're saying, and I think the feedback helps us shape the thinking. Maybe there is a point of us understanding more the complexity of maintaining existing workloads and giving you the tools to make sure that you're protecting those workloads, and then you have more time back to grow new workloads within the existing customers. But the move we did from new customers to all types of growth has the same level of intention that I think you mentioned. We probably just need to continue to go into that direction.
Yep.
And I'd like to add one thing. Microsoft is probably one of the only ones that has increased that envelope, which is really difficult, because we're increasing it more than in terms of percentage of total than others are. And that probably is not a sustainable thing. And so I really want to leave you with this message around precision velocity. So the feedback, we take the feedback, that is really important. And that's the feedback that we need, because we're going to have to really decide how to make these investments and where to put them on in the sales stages. And then the second point is, the reason why we sit in SME&C is because there is a huge emphasis on growth. And that's why you've seen us also take those decisions, because there is such an untapped market when you look at the TAM in SME&C. And so you will see us make investments on those growths, right? That growth, recruiting new customers. You'll see us take a ton of focus on new customer ads and things like that. So, but at the same time, take the feedback, but know that we're focused on those things.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, we're looking at the clock here. We have 30 minutes, 30 seconds to go. I wish we would have 30 minutes. But we have a...
Chat it up.
Please.
Anyway, I'm Ro Miller. I'm from Connection. At Summit, I was able to meet up with our pod that was assigned to us. How do you see the most successful partners utilizing that pod.
Yeah, I love it. And
think you
I can take this one even offline, but maybe in 30 seconds I'll wrap it with mirroring functional alignment. Because like if you think of the pod is marketing, specialist sales, generalist sales, technology by CSA. And so there's always a handful of activities and priorities in our unified success and aspirations. And so that ability to go and bridge platforms for each of these roles in your companies with the right technical leader, the right marketing leader to go and drive these activations is by far and away the best practice consistently.
Awesome.
Thank you.
We'll take one more question, even if it's...
Yeah, that's the reason why we said 30 seconds is the live stream is now being ended. So yes.